Hi guys, welcome to Wahala Nade, the home of African movie recaps. Let's get straight into the Wahala.
The movie begins with Elena, the wife of a military soldier, Demi, and her mother-in-law preparing to welcome Demi back from a mission in Libya. Instead, soldiers appear at their house informing them of Demi's death. This news left the two women devastated. We then meet Gigi. He is angry because he has just been fired because money has gone missing and he is blamed. His friend, Hakeem, also feels sad for him when he hears the news. Back at Demi's house, Elena is still grieving, but her mother-in-law comforts her, even though she is quietly breaking down inside as she remembers the last day she saw Demi before he was deployed to Libya. Elena is so heartbroken that she tries to commit suicide, but her mother-in-law finds her on time and takes her to the hospital. On the other hand, Gigi is complaining about not receiving feedback on his job applications. On returning from the hospital, Elena hugs her mother-in-law as a thank you for saving her, knowing what she did was wrong. Gigi has seen her situation and discusses it with Hakeem, feeling sad for her. 18 months passed and Elena is still grieving as she stares out the window hoping to see her husband drive into the compound as he used to do. But a mother-in-law sees her and advises her that even Demi would want her to move on. Elena remembers the first day she met Demi and offered her help when she was kicked out by her aunt. The memory makes her disagree with her mother-in-law, then she walks out. Gigi's situation of having no job puts him down as he has to sell his car to pay their rent. Hakeem isn't happy with Gigi's action, but Gigi reminds him that he doesn't pay rent so he has no say, then walks out leaving Hakeem dumbfounded. Elena's mother-in-law has decided to invite the son of one of her friends for Elena to interact with, but Elena tells her that no one can be like Demi. A memory flashes back to when Elena first entered Demi's house. It shows how Demi was genuine to her and never took advantage of her. When Mary, Demi's friend, came to see Demi and was making Elena uncomfortable, Demi stood by Elena and walked out on Mary. On one evening, Demi brings Elena a dress and asks her out on a date. When Demi sees her in the dress, he becomes mesmerized. They both realize that they have come to love each other, ending up intimate in bed. Demi is lucky because she is a virgin and has never kissed a man before. In the present, Elena has decided to improve her look by changing her appearance. Hakeem is Elena's stylist, which aids him to hear that Elena needs a driver, so he suggests Gigi. But even with the transformation, Elena still stares out the window grieving for Demi. Hakeem informs Gigi, who even though skeptical about the position, decides to apply for the job and gets hired. On Gigi's first day, Elena refuses to leave the house and dismisses him. When Gigi complains, Hakeem reminds him that he needs the job. On the second day, Elena can leave the house, but she starts to cry in the car. Gigi notices and gives her a tissue, which leads to a conversation that only lasts a short minute. Elena returns to find a man her mother-in-law wants her to meet, then excuses herself. Elena gets right to the point and asks him if he would marry a widow, and he says no, leading Elena to walk out on him. Elena and Gigi go on another drive. To cheer Elena up, Gigi comes up with the idea of teaching Elena how to drive. Elena is once again happy and laughing, but then a similar scenario of another man her mother-in-law wants her to meet happens. And just like before, she goes direct and tells him that she is a widow and the lady who called her there was her mother-in-law. The man is shocked since he wasn't told beforehand. So when Elena asks him if he would marry a widow and he says no, she walks out again. Elena's mother-in-law becomes upset with Elena's behavior. The next day, Elena isn't in a good mood, so Gigi takes her to a restaurant for drinks. But when Gigi asks Elena what is wrong, she gets upset, demands to be taken home, and walks out on Gigi. The next day, Gigi apologizes to Elena and offers to treat her as an apology. When they return and Elena hurts her ankle, Gigi catches her. Elena remembers the same incident happening while jogging with her husband and Demi carried her home. Gigi then surprises her by carrying her into the house. And when she cuts herself, Gigi runs to her aid. Another memory of her and her husband flashes back of her cutting herself and Demi comes to her aid. But she snaps back when she hears Gigi say he loves her. As they are about to kiss, Demi's mother interrupts them. When she inquires about Elena and Gigi, Elena confesses that she is in love with him. And even though Demi's mother isn't happy she loves a common driver, she is happy that Elena can move on from Demi's death. Fast forward a few months, Elena and Gigi are married and Elena announces she is pregnant. It brings her memories of when Demi and she were trying to have a child but were unable to. As Gigi and Demi's mother comforts her, Demi comes through the door, and Elena faints from the shock. Demi is alive, but is angry to hear his wife is married to another man. His mother tries to explain to Demi all that occurred, but he doesn't listen. Instead, he struggles and chases Gigi out of his house. It's revealed that Demi's camp was attacked and he sustained a head injury leading to memory loss for 16 months. Elena is uncomfortable around Demi. This is because she loves and is pregnant with Gigi. Being confused about the situation, she decides to break off the relationship between Gigi and her. As men have pride, Gigi doesn't give up and comes looking for Elena, and Gigi and Demi get into a fight. Finding Elena distracted in the kitchen, Demi's mother advises Elena that she is not meant to be in that house, because her heart is no longer with Demi. Demi's mother decides to confront Demi and tell him that Elena's heart is no longer with him, but with Gigi, because she is pregnant for him. Gigi is then called to the house and Demi allows Elena to leave with him. At the same time, Mary comes through the door and Demi walks out on her. This movie is called Borrowed Love. It teaches that in death, people move on and you should accept it.